Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. In today's video, we will be discussing about why global plastic treaty talks collapsed. Okay, let's get into the video. So, what exactly we will be looking through in this article? Why is it in news? What is the backdrop? What is the definition of plastic or what is called as plastic? Global Plastic Convention, United Nations Environment Programme, United Nations Intergovernmental Negotiation Committee, impact of plastic on environment, India's initiative to curb plastic pollution, and then we will be discussing what is the future of plastic pollution in India. Understanding? Let's get started. Where is this topic relevant? In your GS paper 3 environment topic. Now there are certain terminologies in this which are directly can be asked for your prelims. What are those? UN Environment Assembly, Extended Producer Responsibility, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, Fossil Fuels and Polymers. Understanding? Let's get started. Okay. Now for your mains, largely this topic is for plastic pollution, waste management, UN Global Plastic Treaty, environmental diplomacy, environmental policy and governance. Fine? So which makes this topic a very important one for you to understand it well. Look at this. Why is it in news? Okay. First and foremost, look at this. All this issue that we are talking about is happening in Busan, okay, Republic of South Korea. Okay, we're talking about that. Press release of 2nd December 2024, okay, which speaks about plastic pollution negotiations adjourned with new text and follow-up session planned. Okay, in Busan, where again? Your South Korea. Countries negotiating an internationally legally binding instrument. Okay, first the keywords of this, okay, on plastic pollution, okay, including marine environment, okay, adjourned their 5th session today with agreement on a chair's text that will serve as the starting point of negotiations at a resumed sessions in 2025. A summation of this, okay, as of now, okay, international organizations, countries have come together and they are trying to, okay, bring up an agreement which will be legally binding, understanding, and it will tackle two or twin challenges. One is your plastic pollution and second is its effect on marine environment. Okay, now it did not, in the 5th session that they are holding now, it didn't come to a settlement, but rather it is postponed again. When? In your 2025. Okay, now look at this. Over 3,300 delegates, including members representing more than 170 nations. Okay, observers from more than 440 organizations have been meeting in Busan, Republic of Korea. Okay, in the 5th session of Intergovernmental Negotiation Committee or INC. Okay, now I told this is the 5th session, so INC 5. Okay, Intergovernmental Negotiation Committee. Okay, that is INC 5. Okay, this is the news. Okay, further down we will keep discussing how it impacts. Okay. Global Plastic Treaty talks failed to reach a consensus, which means it has failed down. It didn't create a legally binding document, yes, to address your plastic pollution or on the marine environment. Why? One of the main reasons, okay, is because of your plastic production. What this is, okay, further down we'll discuss plastic production and polymer production. Okay. Now, we've been discussing, yes, as to some international organization, this and all started. What is the backdrop? When did it actually start? It started with a resolution from UN Environment Assembly, okay, in Nairobi in 2022, okay, where they decided that they will come up with global rules, which means which is applicable to all of them, okay, to curb plastic pollution by the end of 2024. Okay, that was the session that was held today, or the last final session, the 5th session of INC. But again, they didn't come to any fruition, so again it has been postponed to your 2025. Understanding? Next, we've been discussing, right, plastics. So simple words, what is plastic? It can be both synthetic or natural, okay. They are nothing but polymers made of repetitive units called as monomers. So when monomers are linked together into repetition, they are your polymers or your plastic. Understanding? Now there are different kinds of plastics, okay. Now if you see, the plastics are of the types polyethylene, terephthalate, high density polyethylene, polyvinyl chloride. Next is low density polyethylene, polypropylene, polystyrene, okay. All other plastics such as acrylic, nylon, etc. So these are the different types of plastics. There are in total 7 different types of plastics, okay. Now coming to Global Plastic Convention, okay, this is what is being happening right now. This is a joint initiative from, okay, both Norway, Rwanda, okay, they are the main initiators, okay. Rwanda is facing a huge issue from your plastic pollution. So on total 66 countries with prime initiation from Norway, Rwanda and EU, okay, are wanting to curb the plastic pollution, okay. What they are trying to do is cap the plastic production, okay, which means you have to put a limit on the amount of plastic that is being produced. Now when this is bought as a move, the other countries, that is plastic producing countries or whose economies are tied with, okay, plastic producing, petroleum, etc., such as your Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, India, China, okay, all these countries rely heavily on petrochemicals and plastic production or polymer productions, okay. Now these people are against this plastic convention, not because that they are not bothered about the climate change or the issues that it is having, but because their economies are, okay, these are developing countries whose economies are very largely tied up, okay, with the petrochemicals and plastic production. And also one of the things, issues that they are having with the plastic convention is clear definition is not there, okay, clear language is not meted out. Another thing is they are asking for a production fee on polymers production. They are telling polymers will not contribute only to your plastics, okay, and you have to put a nominal fee is what one of the aspects of your plastic convention is, which India, okay, growing countries or developing countries are telling, if we have to be, okay, a sustainable development, if our economies have to be, then you have to make sure you see this not just in terms of complete bans or you put production bans, fines, etc., but rather you have to also consider our countries, which means you will give, okay, enough, for example, plastic reduction, okay, plastic reduction ke liye you will give good amount of money or funding. Basically you will, the developed countries, etc., will give adequate funding to the developing countries whose economies are tied up strongly with it, okay, without which developing countries are not able to sustain it. And you cannot, okay, again, you cannot just cap the production of your plastic itself, okay, and these are not clear definitions. Understanding? So they are opposed to any measures that would limit the production, okay. And global plastic polymer market is tied up with these, okay? Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iran, China, India, okay? So these countries are opposed to this complete production ban or limit. Understanding? So one of the main reasons is they are telling, okay, that is the Global Plastic Convention is claiming that phase out single-use plastics, restrict hazardous chemicals such as diethyl hexyl phthalate, okay, dibutyl phthalate, benzyl butyl phthalate, okay, diisobutyl phthalate, okay, all this by 2040. They are telling, the developing economies are telling, this is not enough time for us to reduce, okay, or cap our measures, first thing. And second thing, first thing is not enough time. Second thing is not enough funding, okay, because of which it makes it difficult. And also because these are developing economies, if they also have to be in a sustainable manner, then holistic development has to be seen rather than vague words. If you have to make it legally binding, then it has to be, okay, a clear cut crisp definition of what comes under plastic production. For example, a country like India, it doesn't want to bring in polymer, okay, production completely as a ban, okay. So India stance with regard to this is, yes, we have been banning short-lived plastics, okay, and we have also come up with extended producer responsibility, meaning what? The person who is producing the goods, he is given with the task, okay, to even collect back the goods. Let's assume, for example, a company which is making beauty creams, okay, if they are going to make it and seal it in with respect to your plastic containers, now they are the ones who have the, okay, responsibility to collect it back. That's the meaning of extended producer responsibility. Again, this is not very much efficiently happening, but this is one of the steps that is taken by India in curbing plastic pollution, okay. Another thing is your UN environment program, okay, which is a very important nodal agency with respect to this global plastic pollution. They have highlighted the urgency of action and warning against prolonged negotiations, okay, which as it is happening now, as oceans and ecosystems suffer from plastic waste accumulation. Understanding? So in the very starting we saw INC 5, okay, your US Intergovernmental Negotiation Committee was set up by your UN Environment Assembly. What it is trying to do is create a legally binding agreement, okay, which is to combat plastic pollution and its effect on marine environment, okay, and they are trying to do that by a resolution 5 of 14, which means they are trying to create a legally binding agreement, okay, which will be, okay, addressing the twin challenge of plastic pollution and its effect on marine environment, okay. This is your Intergovernmental Negotiational Committee on Plastic Pollution, or INC. Up until now 5 sessions have happened, okay. Look at this. The one that was held now, your 5th session, okay. Over 3,300 delegates from more than 440 organizations have been meeting in Busan, Republic of Korea, okay, for the 5th session. This is the 5th session that took place. Up until now 5 sessions have happened. 5th session was in Korea, okay, wherein INC 5, okay, Intergovernmental Negotiation Committee. Okay, what are they trying to do? This INC 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now INC 5, the next part, all this is try to create a legally binding agreement to address plastic pollution. Okay. Now, the 4th session, okay, or the 4th INC session was held in Ottawa, Canada in 2024, okay. INC 4 was held here, Okay, all these are discussions and meetings that they are trying to come together to, okay, form a legally binding agreement. Your INC 3 or third session was held in Nairobi, Kenya. Okay, it was held in 2023. Okay, your INC 2 was held in Paris, France. Okay, in 2023. Okay, your INC session 1 was held in Uruguay in 2022. Okay, now why does the world need a global, okay, plastic treaty? First and foremost, the production of plastic has doubled from 234 to 460 from 2000 to 2019. In a span of 19 years, the plastic production has doubled. So much so that if it is left at this rate, okay, the plastic production will reach to 700 million tons by 2040. This is a report by your OECD, and the largest contributor, okay, to the plastic pollution is your Asia. And among this, if you look at which country is, okay, at a major level who is producing a lot of plastic production is, that is your India at a level of 9.3. Okay, the first position is held by your India. The second position goes to your North America. Okay, and then it goes to EU. The largest is held by your India. Okay, do you see? India is the largest plastic producer. Okay. First and foremost, why has India become the largest plastic producer? See, there are multiple reasons for it. Okay. We are now, okay, our economy is now at a stage of fast moving pace. Okay. The second thing is with the increasing concept of, okay, online, okay, packaging, alright, and your unnecessary wasteful packaging have been created to a very larger level. Okay, the consumption of these products have increased. Okay, now what is the issue of that much of plastic production is, it takes somewhere from 20 to, okay, 500 years to decompose. Okay, according to the Lancet publication, only 9% of the plastic waste is recycled, rest end up in oceans, landfills. Okay, it enters into your natural cycle. Okay, almost in today's rate, annually, that is per year, 8 million tons of plastic end up in oceans. If the same rate is allowed to continue, by 2050, the ocean will have more plastic than the fishes in it. Okay, now this is not just affecting the environment, it's affecting the humans also. Your BPA, okay, or what we call as bisphenol A, okay, this disrupts the endocrine system, which is the one which is very important for hormonal secretions. Okay, and also with respect to your wildlife, okay, constantly you see them getting caught. Okay, and it keeps moving. Your plastic has led into your versions of biomagnification, and when one of the other complications that they have, that is your developing countries with respect to this, is they have not defined plastic, or they have not introduced the concept of, okay, microplastic, nanoplastic, how this has the ability to move up the food chains. Okay, rather they just using vague words, plastic. Okay, they do not mean which means what. Okay, your plastic production contributes to 3.6% of global greenhouse gases, among which 90% of the emissions are coming from fossil fuels, which are used to create these plastics. Okay, so it is increasing the, okay, greenhouse gases. Now, what is India's initiatives to curb plastic or address this plastic pollution is Plastic Waste Management Rules of 2022, Plastic Waste Management Rules 2024, India Plastics Pact, Project Riplan, okay, Unplastic Collective, Go Litter Partnership, okay, these are all some of the initiatives taken by India. Now, what is the future of this particular, okay, legally, that is what they are trying to create, right? A legally binding, okay, agreement to curb plastic pollution. We just saw the present one failed in talks, that is your INC 5. So they have decided at UNEA 5.2, okay, the world promised to tackle plastic pollution, okay. Now look at this, in March 2022, okay, at the resumed, now they are telling there will be, okay, 5th session of the UNEA Assembly 5.2, that is the 5th session happened now, okay, but that didn't yield the results. So there will be another session which will be put to your 2025, okay, that is your UNEA 5.2, okay, where again they will discuss and try to come to a possible solution, okay. Now we've reached the end of the content. Okay, this is brought to you by your faculty Sushma. If you do like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Thank you.